welcome back. It's great to have you here today. Today we will be revising income tax. Please get your pen and paper ready and work through these questions with me. Okay, so here are some information I took from the government website. So every working person in the UK has personal allowance. That means if your income is below 12,570, you don't need to pay any tax. If your income is above this number, then you will need to pay income tax depending on how much you earn. This table here helps us to see how different bands work. So the basic rate means that if you take away the personal allowance, the next 37,700 you will need to pay 20% of income tax. And then if you're earning more than 50,271, so that means the next 74,869 you need to pay 40% of income tax. Anything above 125,140, then you will pay 45% of income tax. On top of income tax, we will need to pay national insurance as well. Similarly, if your income is below 12,570, then you don't pay any national insurance. However, the next 37,700, you will need to pay 8%. Anything above that, you will need to pay additional 2%. Okay, so now I have some questions here. Let's work through these questions together. Question 1. Since this number is below 12,570, therefore this person doesn't need to pay any income tax. In the second question, this person's income is 13,500. This is 930 above personal allowance. 20% of 930, which is 186, is the amount of tax this person should be paying. Okay, next question, question 3. We are told that Alan paid 4,800 income tax, and we wanted to work out how much he earned. We won't be able to tell immediately which rate Alan is paying. So what we can do is, looking at the table, we can work out that the next 37,700 is taxed at 20%. Now 20% of that amount is 7,540. Now Alan's income tax is below this, so then we know that his rate is 20%. Then we know that he's in the basic rate. Then we can use bubble diagram to work out his taxable income in this bracket. So some numbers, 20% is 4,800. To work out that number, we can do 4,800 divided by 0.2, and that is 24,000. Alan's total income is 24,000 plus the personal allowance, which is 12,570. Therefore, Alan's total income is 36,570. Okay, moving on to the next part. Question 4. Alan paid 4,800 income tax, and we wanted to work out how much national insurance he is paying. We know that Alan is in the basic rate. National insurance is 8% rate. 24,000 is the taxable income. 8% of that is 1,920 in total, and this amount is the amount of national insurance he needs to pay. Okay, moving on to the next question. We know the total salary, and we assume a 37 hours of working week. Also assume that this person is paying the income tax and also national insurance. There are usually 25 days of holidays. So first step, what we needed to do is to work out the total take-home pay. So what we can do is to work out the total tax paid and also national insurance paid. 28,407 take away 12,570, that is the taxable income. And this number is smaller than 37,700. Therefore, this person needs to pay 28% of national insurance and income tax. Therefore, we can work out this person's take-home pay is 23,972. Now, we wanted to work out the hourly rate. Now, what we can do is to divide this number by the total working hours, which is 37 hours per week, and there are 53, take away 5 weeks of holiday, and that leaves us with £13.49 per hour. 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour, so we can do 13.49 divided by 4, and that is 3.37 per 15 minutes. Okay, now moving on to the next question. We are told that Stefan is a newly qualified teacher and his income is £31,650. And he claimed that his net pay will decrease by £500 per month. So that means £500 tax and national insurance paid. Now we needed to check whether his claim is correct or not. So what we can do is to work out the taxable income by doing 31,650, take away 12,570, and because we know that Stefan will be paying tax and national insurance a total of 28%. This year he will be paying £5,342. If we divide by 12, we can work out the monthly deduction, which is less than £500. Therefore, Stefan's claim is incorrect. Okay, now moving on to the next question. Now we are told Salam's salary, which is 68,974. So she started saving at the end of August. Hopefully by the end of November, she will be able to save enough money to go on holiday. So that means that there are 3 months, and we need to work out how much she can save in these 3 months. So we know the first 12,570, she doesn't need to pay in tax and national insurance. And then the next 37,700, she needed to pay 28%. 74,869, she needed to pay 42% of tax and national insurance. Since her salary is 68,974, we can break that down into 3 different parts. The first part is personal allowance, and then that requires 0% of income tax and national insurance. The next part is 28%, and then 42% for the final 18,704. So what we can do now is to work out the total take-home pay, which is 50,562. Now to work out how much she can save, we need to multiply this number by 3 out of 12, which is 3 months out of 12 months that she will be saving, and each month she will be saving 1/12. So we need to multiply that by 1/12. As we can see, this is smaller than 1,500. Therefore, she won't have enough money to go on holiday. Okay, so now let's try 2 exam questions. Karen paid income tax and also national insurance on her salary, and we are given some information about the income tax and also national insurance. So she will be paying 0% of the first 12,570 on her annual salary, and then 20% on the rest of them. She will pay 0% on her first 9,880, and then 13.25% on the rest. We are told that she has paid 5,186 income tax, and we needed to work out how much national insurance did she pay. Now what we needed to do is to work out her total income. The number's 20% is 5,186. Therefore, to work out that taxable income, we needed to do 5,186 divided by 0.2, and that gives us 25,930. We add on the personal allowance, which is 12,570, and that gives us a total of 38,500. If we take away 9,880, 13.25% of the rest is the national insurance she needs to pay, and as we can see, it's 3,792.15. Let's move on to the second exam question. 0% on first 12,500, and then 20% on the next 37,500, and then 40% on the next 112,500. So we are told that Kim paid 9,260. First, we need to work out which bracket he's in. So what we can do is to work out 20% of 37,500. And as we can see, it's 7,500. Because 9,260 is greater than 7,500, then we know he paid 1,760 at 40%. So to work out the taxable income in this bracket, we needed to do 1,760 divided by 0.4, and that gives us 4,400. So the total income will be 12,500 plus 37,500 and 4,400. And that gives us 54,400 as the total income. Okay, that is it for today. Well done for making through to the end, especially if you have done the questions yourself. Remember, maths isn't a spectator sport, and we have to keep practicing to be more fluent. Happy revising, and I'll see you in the next video.